So I think the problem with capitalism fundamentally is that it reduces everything to a source of profit, because capitalism fundamentally is somebody has a dollar, and they want to give that dollar to somebody else, and they want to get $1.10 back, and if they can get $1.50 or $2, that's even better, and it creates this sort of abstraction layer where somebody basically can go to the market and say, hey, who's going to give me the better return for this dollar? And then they pick, and at that point it creates a cultural value where it says, okay, the best use of the ability to do things economically is to do things with the most profit, and that becomes a sort of a machine and sort of embodied in, and it kind of infects all of society ultimately. So without going into the history of capitalism, I think what capitalism has done in a way is to amplify the greed of every human being and sort of suppress or marginalize all the other motivations that we have. So certainly one of the motivations that human beings have is greed of wanting more, wanting a better, more material wealth. But there are all kinds of other motivations, from altruism to love to jealousy to compassion. There's all kinds of other things, but capitalism doesn't really acknowledge those. And if you look at the theories of economics that come out of capitalism, they're all based on this kind of homo economicus, this rational economic actor who's looking to maximize their own profit and profitability. Capitalism on the cultural level, it's an amplification of greed as a motivator, and a marginalization of all the other motivators. On a material level, what capitalism does is it's an extractor. It takes anything that has value and it takes that value out of it and tries to control it. So if you have, capitalism hasn't really found a way to value the commons. Generally what it likes to do is split that up into pieces and sell it off. So instead of when you have a lake that supports a whole ecosystem, like one of the Great Lakes, for example, let's say, it supports a whole ecosystem, it supports all these different kinds of wildlife, all these different livelihoods. It gives people clean water, it provides places for people to bathe, to enjoy themselves. It provides all kinds of industries, provides shipping lanes, all these things. And so that's a commons, and nobody pays the lake to do that, it just does it. But then you have capitalism, and what capitalism says is, that's not worth any money, even though it's sustaining this huge both economic and emotional and physical sort of ecosystem. It says, okay, well, that's not contributing to GDP, so let's find a way to own it so that we can sell off the water, sell off the water rights and sell off the waterfront and develop tourist resorts or whatever, and find a ways to parcel that out and turn it into something that you can turn around and sell. And the logic, when you apply that logic to the natural world, it's not hard to see how we get from there to the kind of current massive crisis that we're in. So you end up with climate change, happening precisely because capital wasn't able to see the impact of what it was doing beyond the immediate profit that it was generating. Because, by pulling oil out of the ground, selling it, and having it run all these industries, capital was like, great, we're making profit, so we'll keep doing that. And then it created huge institutions that are massively powerful, kind of powerful beyond what we can even comprehend as human beings. When there's billions of dollars just flowing around, or trillions of dollars in investments, in anticipated profits, that's a very difficult thing to stop once it gets going. But capitalism just says, because it doesn't ask any other question besides where's the profit, it just keeps going. It just sees, even though, our imminent demise is a few decades down the road, according to all of climate science basically at this point. Capitalism just says, all right, we're we don't care, what's profitable now, and it puts all of its institutional momentum into moving toward that.